What I would like to do is, before I start, I would like to start with the definition of PCI. I'm sure that most of you already know that PCI is the protein carbohydrate index. This is basically the term that we are using as long distance athletes for testing our... Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, so the real definition of PCI... Yes, why can't I use this? The real definition of PCI is the payment card industry regulation, which basically defines the requirements, the technical requirements for transmitting credit card information, storing credit card information, all the related tasks that related to handling credit card information. This is very sensitive information, obviously, and it applies to every merchant that wants to either get or transmit or store credit card information. Now, basically, when we say that it applies to every merchant, then there are two ways for the merchant to comply with these requirements, either the in-house or the outsource option. For the in-house, every merchant that needs to be compliant with the PCI regulation is subject to full scope of the regulatory requirements. He basically have to absorb all the cost that is associated with it, the labor, the preparations, the annual audits. And obviously, since this is a very sensitive information, these merchants become a prime target for the risk of hacking and stealing this sensitive information. What we want to present here today is two case studies of our clients that used a different approach. They basically decided to use outsourcing of the entire compliance and the benefits that are associated with the outsource, which is the cost saving by trusting the outsourcing partner, the responsibility shift. Basically, they shifted the entire responsibility for the compliance to SafeCharge, and an associated benefit with the payment optimization that is a related benefit for the merchants that already decided to go with the outsource. So the case studies that I want to present here today are part of a general global trend. We see that we started with just one customer, and we see that plenty of our customers from gaming, forex industries are coming to us and are requesting the same solution that we have already provided. And a recent Gartner research shows that the annual cost of compliance is about $700,000 in order to maintain the PCI compliance for the merchant. So we are going to present here two implementation approaches. The first one is the approach that GALA CORAL took. And basically, we have presented this use case already together with Jim Noakes. He is the payments director of GALA CORAL in the recent MRC in London. And I would like to show you first of all the implementation, and then I will share with you some of the conclusion from Jim Noakes that will speak for itself. So basically this is the implementation. When we speak about the GALA Casino implementation, the player is coming first time to the cashier and he wants to deposit money. Okay, it can be either a tablet, a mobile phone, a desktop. Click the deposit page. Then a SafeCharge iframe is open. Okay, click on the register button, and he has the payment details screen. In this screen, it basically provides all the sensitive payment information. But this is a SafeCharge screen. It has the GALA Casino logo, but it's a SafeCharge screen, and we are responsible of collecting all the data and storing them securely in our secured credit card vault. So the next step will be transmitting the credit card information through the secured card vault, and in parallel transmitting the transaction through the payment gateway to the acquiring banks. So So this is the flow of a first deposit. Now let's see the same flow, what happens when it is a repeat deposit. Okay, a returning customer is coming to the same cashier, clicks the deposit button, but now we don't need to ask him for the payment details again. The only thing that we need from him is the amount, the CVV, and then he can click on the deposit button. We are using the token that has been created on the first transaction to retrieve the payment information from the secured card vault, and then the transaction flows through the payment gateway to the acquiring banks for execution. What I'd like to do here now is to share with you two parts from Jim's presentation in the MRC. Just the first one of them will be the implementation and his view of the implementation of this project with the SafeCharge. And the second part will be his conclusion from a year later of the performance of the mutual projects and the benefits that GALA had from this project. Unfortunately, Jim could not join us today, but he allowed us to use this video.
Just to give you a scale, so from the beginning of the year, sort of the contracts were agreed the back end of last year. There was obviously an integration and development piece. There's a degree of customization because no client ever takes anything straight out of the box and says it's fine. But as Shema will go on to talk about in a minute, there's lots more customizations that we could do, but the main focus of this was getting the sites up and running, getting some experience. The little challenge of card migration. When you've got 10 million card numbers sitting in a secure encrypted vault and you've got to move those 10 million card numbers, or what might not really be 10 million card numbers because of the numbers of expired ones, test ones, dummy ones that are all in there and nobody's ever looked at for the 10 years since you've been live, we actually probably transferred about 3 million card records over to SafeCharge. It all had to be done and getting the integration team to work together to make sure that those numbers were passed securely. It didn't have cardholder data with it. It was all anonymously recognized and that sort of thing. It was no mean feat. And to do all of that in 7 weeks, testimony to the teams that worked on it. One of the biggest areas that we looked at in that card migration was what we call bad data, but I'll come back to that in a minute. Testing, staging and trading, and our first brand went live in April. GALA Casino is the smallest brand that we've got, so it was a good test to get it out there in the market. Then we added bingo and the complexities of bingo and the live chat that our bingo customers so love. Don't worry about the gameplay, it's the chat that you've got to worry about. And then the final one, Coral, sports betting. You know, if it's a score of complexity here, GALA Casino's a 1, GALA Bingo's a 5, and Coral's 20. A full suite in-run sports betting platform and getting all of that lot working. That was no consequence of the SafeCharge integration. That was all working smoothly. That was purely about the other platforms that wrapped around the brand in order to get it over the line.
Well, to summarize what Jim said, it's basically was like a 10-month implementation of the 3 major assets of GALA. Next, what I'd like to do is to share with you the conclusions of 1 year after, and especially the performance part.
Short instances again to work to sort of expound on the fleetness of foot of working with SafeCharge. There was an issue when Safari 6 first came out in the mobile platform that cookies weren't supported. Cookies is required as part of the gateway platform, and so we had to work on a solution very quickly to be able to get that implemented so that these particular group of customers wasn't blocked. And again, turned it around really quickly, got to the grips with the problem and sorted it. And again, we have a little event in the UK called the Grand National. It's the biggest single betting event that non-punters play on in the UK. So you've got 40 horses doing a 3-mile course with I can't remember exactly how many jumps it is, but very large jumps. And so it's as good as a lottery you get on 4 legs as you're going to get. And so that's the sort of transaction rates that we saw for transactions per minute on this year's event. But you can see that the latency of the support system under the surface kept going. There were a couple of areas other in the system, and you know, it's very rare to find a bookmaker that doesn't have some issues, but you know, we managed to get through it unscathed and keep all of the key platforms. And when the 66-to-1 winner came home, great sighs of relief, because the number of payouts that we have to process isn't that great.
Okay, so this was the first case studies that we wanted to present. And now Yoni CD is the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer of Winner. He would like to share with you a different implementation approach of the same PCI compliance outsourcing with some additional benefits that they have received. I'd like to mention that this project is still in implementation stage. I'd like to give the stage to Yoni.
Hello, everybody. So we've been using SafeCharge for several years, and they've asked me to come and show them how good they are. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. So this, like Shema said, is in implementation at the moment. It should be ready soon, which we're quite excited about. Here you can see an example of the page where the player is about to make a deposit. It's a first time depositing user. The user's filled in all his details. A few clicks, the wrong details, it's giving him a push to try again, helping us there with conversion. What it also has the ability to do, and for us, which is very, very important, it gives a reason for any decline. So obviously for us, our support teams are working very, very closely to try and convert our users into depositing players. That's what we all really want to do. Here, what it's doing is releasing the burden from our support team using their own software. So here, for example, you can see that the user has accidentally, or maybe on purpose, tried to get lucky and put in too much. Automatically comes up with a message saying why the decline is present, and advise him to perhaps try, him or her, perhaps try a lower amount. For us, it's very, very important. We find, especially me being on the marketing side of the fence, the fewer clicks, the better. So here we've got a solution for us, which in 1 click, 2 click, 3 clicks, instead of 5, 6, 7, helps us convert the end user much quicker. We have the ability to localize the solution. It's a very simple integration. What we're also able to do is per region. So we're working in several markets, whether it be the UK, Scandinavia or Russia. With the solution that we're talking about, it makes it very easy and simple for us to have the right correct language and also the correct payment method on the closer to the user's eye. We're able to optimize and compare the results through the software. It's all very, very easy to use. A lot of A/B testing I know that we're doing at the moment. It all seems to be going well, Shema, hopefully. What we can also have the ability to do is use a cross-promotion on the page that you just saw. So if we, for example, wanted to push the Grand National, like the gentleman from Coral was speaking about, we can. If we wanted to push a special type of bonus or a special type of game, we also have the ability to do so. We have the ability to also do smart routing, or through SafeCharge, have the ability to do smart routing. What this does, it helps us choose the correct bank and payment method for the user. Again, reducing the amount of declines and making it easier for the end user to deposit. Like I said before, we want as fewer clicks as possible on the marketing side. So for us, we have a solution here where it literally is a one-click deposit. All the information is filled in for the user. Hopefully get him through to our gaming lobby as quickly as possible and less time wasted trying to sign up. In regards to conversion, like I say, we have a team of support based out in Manila, who, whenever a decline comes on, they then have to approach the user and focus on why that decline. Here, with the smart technology that we're using, a lot of the stress be relieved from Manila, which means that they can then do perhaps other things, convert other traffic, and reduce costs. This solution is also available for mobile, for web. We're working now on the mobile implementation. Hopefully that'll be ready also shortly. And I think that's it from me. I'll pass you back over to Shema.
Thank you, Yoni. Thank you very much. So just to summarize, I would like to share some statistics about what we see from our current customers. So basically, if we look at the entire percentage, we see that 56% of the transactions that we are processing today with the cashier are first-time deposits, where 45% of the transactions that we process are one-click or repeat transactions. And another interesting piece of information is if we look at the entire number of transactions and registered payment options per user, we see that 80% of the users, the total number of users that are using our software, registered 2 or more payment options, while 82% registered just one of them. So basically it means that people are using the capability to register more than just one payment method, more than just one credit card. They register several of them. On average, we see that there are 1.27 payment methods registered per each player. So additional benefits, as Yoni mentioned, these are the payment optimization, the robust risk management platform, and the dedicated payment professionals, the technical support that are available 24/7, 365 days a year. And with this, I would like to summarize. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask. If not, you're welcome also to visit us in our meeting room downstairs. And everybody is welcome to our great party later on tonight. Okay, thank you very much.